Good day, everyone. Welcome all. All walks of life are welcome. But today's message, I feel, is being inspired by the Divine Feminine. And that's the Divine Feminine in all of us. So even if you're a male, you have the Divine Mother wisdom and intuition that resides within you. So just awakening to the beautiful energy of the Divine Feminine. Okay, just close your eyes. And let's bring in this beautiful Divine Mother energy into our spaces, into our hearts, purifying our mind, our bodies, and our spirits. Connecting in the heart center with the Divine Mother. We have Mother God, we have Father God, and together we feel whole and complete. But the Divine Feminine is coming through as I am being a channel for her energy now. And we're going to pull some cards from this Mother Mary, the Mother Mary deck. So the wisdom that we need to know for ourselves and our situations in our life, Divine Mother, please show us now. Uh-oh. I wouldn't call that a drop. Let's see. Integrity. I trust my ability to know what is true for me. Knowing what your truth is very important. If you were to ask a lot of people, they've probably never even heard of Mother God. So, just understanding that your truth has been brought forth, by the way that you are raised, whether it's cultural, parental, or societal beliefs, okay? But these can be very helpful guides, and it doesn't mean that these are not true and they don't add to your truth. But integrity in this card is speaking to me of saying, really find out what's your own truth. What is your own truth? And that is very Divine Mother, okay? The Divine Masculine, the Divine Father, Father God, it's almost as though it's been brought forth as a very strict energy, a very linear energy, black and white, right and wrong. And then the Divine Mother has just been completely just wiped out. And she's held no light in our society for a long time, at least, in the Western world. But it's not just the Western world. It's not. And so bringing back the Divine Feminine energy to really help you to figure out what it is that is true for you, what is true for you. And your truth, it doesn't matter if it aligns with anybody else's truth. Who knows? Maybe you are ahead of your time, okay? And your truth is beyond what others can see, okay? Maybe there's understanding that was lost. And the Divine Mother is coming through and says, bring integrity into your life so that you can really understand what it is that is true for you. Trust your ability to know what is true for me. Or I trust my ability to know what is true for me. Trust your ability so you know what is true for you. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. As long as you are living within your own personal integrity of what you believe is truth, you can live in peace. Okay? Divine Mother, please give us another card of wisdom. Optimism. I expect good things to happen, and they do. So the Divine Mother is saying to us, as long as we remain optimistic, and this is not a toxic, positive energy, okay? Because sometimes there's such thing as toxic positivity. But if we remain optimistic for things to get better and use the divine masculine of action to bring forth change, and we're positive and we're optimistic for the outcome, then it will be, mote it be. And so it is. You have to trust that, you can expect good outcomes when you're living in integrity with your truth. Be optimistic. Okay? Be optimistic and know without a doubt that things will turn out as they should. Also, not being attached to any particular outcome, but being optimistic that everything will fall into place as it should and as it's divinely orchestrated. But it comes with living in the integrity of your own personal truth. And that will change. That will change as time goes on, especially with the Divine Mother coming through. She's very abstract. She's intuitive. She can be the light and the dark. She's not one-sided. She has many faces. I've talked about Hecate a lot. Hecate, she stands between the crossroads of the past, the present, and the future. She is the maiden, the mother, and the crone. As women, we change drastically throughout a lifetime, depending on what phase of our life we're going through. And we have needs, and we have these beings that some people may call it creatures that need to come out and express themselves in order for us to really reach our truth, so we can live in full integrity. Okay? Being a people pleaser is not living in integrity. You don't know yourself. I can't think of anything less integrity. Okay? But be optimistic that as long as you are living your truth, everything will fall as it should. And the mother's not scared. Oh, the Divine Mother. She is a force to be reckoned with, and she is not scared. She's not scared to lose. She's not scared to bleed. We lose so much of our beauty, when we go through the process of giving birth or having a pregnancy. Our youthful body, it changes, and we become beautiful in a whole new way. But we're not scared. And we're not scared to go through the pain and bleed. So why are we scared to live in our truth? Do you not love yourself enough to live in your truth? Love yourself enough to live in your truth. And the people that love you will stay and be there. And the people that don't, they'll eventually see what you were talking about in the end. Mercy. I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. So the Divine Mother is fierce. Mother Nature is not a force to reckon with, and we cannot control her, right? But it's also saying, I am kind and thoughtful towards myself and others. That's living in grace. You're kind to yourself and you're kind to others. And if they don't understand, it's okay. Forgive them. For we're just learning about ourselves as well. We're learning and exploring ourselves as well. There's no need to be without mercy. There's no need to be without grace and compassion. Be fierce. But honestly, be strong enough to keep your heart open. Be strong enough to be kind and merciful towards those, especially that are not kind and merciful towards you. But don't be a doormat. The Divine Feminine is not a doormat. Divine Mother, please show us what we need to know. Signs. I watch for, notice, and trust the signs that heaven continuously sends me. The Divine Mother, the Divine Father, God, there's really no gender when it comes to God. It's just aspects of energy. But there is definite energy there. They're giving you signs all the time. They're giving you signs all the time. When your life is not working out and you keep forging ahead on a path that is not working, that's your sign. Whenever you continually repeat the same old thing over and over again, and yet there's really very little results, little to no results, and you're being optimistic, well, maybe you need to learn a new truth. You need to be open and flexible to learn what you need to learn and have mercy and forgive yourself for what you did not understand previously, maybe what you weren't taught, or maybe you were misguided or misinformed. Okay? But there are many signs. So as you're finding out what your truth is, you will be given a million signs to help guide you in the right direction. It's up to you to either stay in fear and be like, oh, no, this is not this does not align with, what I was taught, and what I'm thinking is truth, but it's blatantly in my face, but like everything in my life isn't working out, but I'm going to stay course. I'm still going to continue to stay steady on the path that is not working. Even though I have all these signs around me that saying, hey, expand and grow. The mother expands and she grows. She is very abstract. Divine Mother, please show us whatever the other messages you have for us. Mary Magdalene, the counterpart, the beloved of Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Isa, you know, she wasn't a weakling. She was not weak. She was not a weak woman. She took a lot of ridicule from the Gnostic teachings. She was not liked by the other disciples. But she held strong in her truth of what her divine role was as the counterpart of Jesus. And a lot of people probably don't even agree that Jesus had a divine woman. But I believe that, and I hold that as my truth. And I'm not the only one. So, yeah, she was not a weak woman, nor was Mother Mary. But I feel Mary Magdalene coming through right now. And she is giving me this memory basically of, it was almost like she was spat on, is what I'm hearing. Literally, probably literally, I'm hearing spat on. She had no place, is what I'm hearing. There was no place amongst the men for her. Yet she took her place, her rightful place, her divine place amongst the men. And she was the most trusted confidant that Jesus had. She was his twin flame, the divine counterpart of him. And she knew what her role was. And back then, she was not really considered to be a great woman. But did she let that stop her? Did she let what other people think affect her? Hell no. Hell no. She was a divine goddess. And she knew what her truth was. And unfortunately, she was written out or even made out to believe, made out to be something that she wasn't. But she doesn't even, she doesn't let that faze her. She knew she was greater and mightier than all of that. There was a lot of judgment placed upon her. So the Divine Mother is saying, know thyself. Know your divinity. And don't let anybody tell you your divinity is supposed to look a certain way. Because that's not truth. Okay, another message, please. Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me. My birth father and our relationship. Oh, wow, okay. My true Father is Father God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me. My birth father and our relationship. healing these wounds around the masculine and feminine energy, healing the wound around the man makes all the rules and we must obey him because he is a man, whether he's a good leader or not. Because I can tell you, he probably thinks he's a good leader. I don't know anybody, even if they're the worst leader, even Hitler thought he was a good leader. So heal the daddy issue that caused women to believe they were lesser than what they really are. Heal the daddy issue that boys have that gives them this sense of entitlement to be controlling. Without the divine feminine in the mix, the divine Mother God in the mix, it becomes very male dominant, very male controlling. And we fall into a deep illusion. We fall into a lie. So healing the relationship between Mother God, Father God, and heal the relationship between your own birth father and your relationship. And maybe somebody's out there that's listening that's had a horrible time with their birth father. Maybe you were abandoned. Maybe he was abusive. Maybe he just had no idea how to even guide as a whole man because he was lied to. Because in order to be a whole man, you have to embrace the masculine and feminine wholly with a W. How can you be a good leader if you're one-sided? You can't. You can't. And that is literally something that is going on as the Piscean age is being swept away. There is a lot of healing with our fathers, a lot of forgiveness that we have to extend to our fathers. Even if your father was so good to you and he just worked all the time and he wasn't there, that can create an abandonment wound. Maybe your father was doing the best that he could and he was praying all the time and he was at the religious place of worship doing the best that he could or what he thought, but he never spent time with you because somebody told him that the children were less important. Heal what needs to be healed on the masculine side. Bring Father God in to help balance out the energy of Mother God. Father God is very kind and loving. And I feel as though Father God has honestly been given a very bad rap, but at the same time, he is very strict and strategic. A beautiful energy. Oop, we'll let those two fall out. But the thing about it is he knows when to be strict, he knows when to be stern, and he knows when to be soft and open. Okay? We have the card of devotion, and we have the card of God. Card of God. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. So, and that is from the God card. I step out of the way and surrender any need for control in order to make room for God's healing love to flow through me and this situation. Stop trying to control the situations. It will be so much better if you're optimistic, not attached to the outcome, but optimistic that your life is going to get better because you're living in your own personal truth, and let God take care of the rest. And when we say God, it's still encompassing Mother God and Father God as a whole. Let your divine parents take control of your life. You get to a certain point where your birth parents have only carried you as far as they can. And yes, there is wisdom with the elders. And you seek wisdom with the elders in certain times. And in other times, you just consult Mother God and Father God and say, I don't know what to do with this situation, but I'm going to let the love flow. And there is, I'm hearing a hell of a love revolution happening right now. Like the age of Aquarius, because we have just pushed out the patriarch, okay? It's like God is trying to just rain love on everyone, right? But we're so programmed into thinking that, well, this is right, this is wrong, I need to control this, I need to control that, you know, I need you to be this for me, or, you know, da 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 da. Like, we're not even playing that game anymore. Okay, that board game has, all the pieces have been picked up, the board is back in the box, and it's put away, it's shelved. We're playing a whole different game right now. Okay? So we cannot continue to play, go fish when we've now switched over to, like, I don't know, chess. Like, it's not going to work anymore. And the divine feminine is really coming through. It has to be nurtured in every man and in every woman, because I know so many people that have literally abandoned their own divine feminine. They have completely just said, no, you know, if I do as the men, that gives me power and that gives me control of my life. When really, all you're doing is cutting off your left arm. Like, you're way less powerful when you're only utilizing, one-handed maneuver. Father God right, Mother God left. Come on now. And it's just so convoluted. It's so convoluted. It's so sad. This is the Divine Mother coming through. So my passion behind this is her passion behind this. So as for Mother God, Father God, or if you just want to say God or Brahma or Allah or Shiva, whatever it is that you want to call Mother God, Father God, go for that. Whatever feels right, but just notice both energies. That's why people even become a parent. So especially men. Being a father does not mean you just dictate, make money, and provide. No. We need masculine nurturing. Boys need masculine nurturing. Daughters need masculine nurturing. Okay? Feminine energy. We're not just meant to be subservient. Because honestly, we have brought forth all the wisdom from our past lives, and we could have been male 4,050 lifetimes before this, And we have so much knowledge to give in appropriate times of giving knowledge. Say, I don't know, in these positions where it's a very male driven atmosphere. Just because we're a woman this lifetime does not mean we haven't been a man all those past lives. So can you imagine, as a woman, knowing, like, all of a sudden you're coming in and it's like, oh, you're beneath me. When our soul knows so much more. No, no, no. It's not how it goes. We are all intelligent beings. And we are all leaders. And we need to be leaders of our own life at the very least. We may not be leaders of a whole community, but we sure as hell can lead our own life. Devotion. As I fully commit to my values, relationships, and God, I am clear about what to do next. So commit to your truth fully, your relationships, and God. So commit to your relationships and commit to God. I am clear about what to do next. As I fully commit to my values, you fully commit to what your truth is. And whatever your truth is, if you have relationships, it should be big enough to encompass everybody in it fully and lovingly. And you can commit to God. Because God is not going to be saying, oh yeah, you get to tell so-and-so what to do or how to be. And yeah, that woman, she's definitely lesser than you. She's weaker than you. I'm not buying it. Commit to God first. Commit to your values. Commit to your relationships. And then you'll be clear what you need to do next. Because if you're only committed to yourself and your values, and you're not encompassing the relationship as a whole and all of the people in the relationship as a whole, because God doesn't just work for one person at all. If you're not able to encompass all of the relationships and bring in the values that you hold dear, you need to let some people go if it's not working out. Okay? But also you have to recognize, if this isn't aligning, am I living in true alignment with the divine creator? Because if you are living in true alignment with the divine creator, really and truly, even if you have a romantic relationship and it's not working out, there's no reason there shouldn't be a friendship behind it, or at least just a decent human connection. If you're living by any wise values. Piscean age was separation, division. Aquarius, where we're at, the age of Aquarius, that's the board game we're on. The board game says it's all about inclusive unity, love revolution. Whether we understand what the other people are doing or not, it's really none of our business. We can literally have our values for ourselves, right? But there's no more separation like the Piscean age. That's not God. That's not God. For the past 3,000 years, while we have literally, distorted much of the Holy Scriptures, that was not God. So, finding out what your truth is now, this day and age, because if we continue to be judgmental and exclusive and condemning, how is that any type of devotion to Mother God, Father God? So live with devotion to Mother God and Father God. And Mother God and Father God, I can tell you, are way more understanding and merciful than human beings are. And that's a sad truth. We are actually the bringers of so much of ugliness. And there's no reason for it. The most important part of our experience is the opening of the heart. The opening of the heart is the opening to all potential and all of the worlds, all of the unseen magic. It's all in the heart, it's in the high heart. And it's Mother, Father, God that resides in the heart. It's inside of us. It's not external. So all the judgments and stipulations and these things that we put into place are only blocks keeping us in our own entanglement. I don't even believe necessarily, like Satan is very much so alive inside of us. It's like we are our own worst nightmare. And the blocks that we place between ourselves and other only create more blocks. And then eventually it creates blocks in our own lives. And whether you end up having to deal with that in this lifetime, on the other side, in another lifetime, it doesn't matter. It will all come to a head at some point where you have to learn the lesson. So the more you judge, the harder it's going to be to really find God. I'm going to pick one more card from this deck. Enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I flow. Beautiful. Enthusiasm, optimism. This is the message of the mother. And she goes with the flow. She's extremely passionate. She's extremely passionate. Okay? There's nothing about this mother energy that's weak. That's the part it's like, it's so crazy because it's like the divine feminine is anything but weak. And when she's passionate about something, she'll flow towards it with unwavering faith. Okay. So whatever it is that you feel passionate about, don't let anybody put your fire out. Just flow towards what feels like love. Flow towards whatever feels like it brings life to you. It doesn't matter as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else. It doesn't matter. The Divine Mother comes through, and when she does, she brings with her a lot of aspects of herself. Like I said, she is light and she is the dark. And that's why the Divine Feminine has been given such a bad rap in the past, because of the darker energies that comes with her. She's mysterious. She's like a creature of the night. And she's been shamed for it. So just make sure that you really decide what your truth is, and really not judging other people is just as important as not judging yourself for what you are feeling drawn to, passionately feeling drawn to. Don't hold yourself back, because there is an aspect that the Divine Feminine, whether you're masculine or feminine, is wanting you to open. It's wanting you to unlock. If you're a male and, oh my God, you've got somebody pregnant, and it's just, it doesn't feel like the right time, you're not even married, see the beauty in learning how to nurture as the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine does. We're all learning, in every single situation that comes up in our life is an opportunity. We're given a sign in order to better ourselves. So utilize every opportunity in your life. Thank you so much. Namaste. Be well, and I will see you again soon. Namaste. Thank you.